G'day guys, it's Robert again from Australian Camping and Four Wheel Drives, and we're down here at Bob Jane T-Mart today, and we're having a look at putting some new tyres on the Ranger. Chicks should be able to see there behind me. We've had standard tyres on there for the time being, and we've been using them. They've been going pretty well. We've got the Cooper SC Max tyres on there at the moment, and today they're going to put some Yokohamas on there as well for us, some of the mud terrain tyres. So we've decided to go for some Steelies. We'll see how they go. Pretty new to the Yokohama tyres, never really tried them before, so it'll be the first time for me as well. And yeah, I've used the Coopers for a fair bit, and I've been happy with them anyway, so they've been good tyre. But we're going to go inside, we're going to go and have a look around and see how they do it. Alright then guys. So this is Sean, he's from Bob Jane, and he was just telling me a little bit about what he's going to do here. So what have we got to do, Sean?
So basically we've just got to put it up on the hoist here, got to rip one of the wheels off.
Yep.
It's the left front, right front, doesn't matter. We've got to make sure that the rims are going to fit, make sure we've got clearance from the strut towers to the brake caliper, just basically overall clearance on the whole thing.
Okay.
And then if that's a go and that's all works fine, we'll put it up, strip it all off.
Do the light.
Now you've got sensors in your tyres.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so I've got to take the sensors out of the old ones, these ones, and then put them into the new ones, so on and so forth. Fit them back up, balance them, and they'll be going on the car.
Sweet. Put the blocks in.
Yeah, so you just put the blocks under the chassis rail.
Yep.
And under the front cross member there, just so not on the actual cross member, it's still on the chassis. You can see.
Yep.
Here. And that just helps it come up nice and even.
Good, eh?
Chunky. We sell quite a lot of these, really do, yeah. Very popular. For the price you can't go wrong. Dynamic wheels, 18x8s, offset's positive 30, so it brings it in. Right.
So what have we got to check, mate?
So basically we're checking to make sure that this is flush with the hub.
Right.
We're going to make sure that we've got clearance at the back here from the strut tower.
Yep.
Which is up behind here. And then lastly is the brake caliper at the back of the rim. So at the back of this rim you've got your brake caliper just in there.
Right, right.
We need to make sure that there's enough clearance between that and that so it can spin freely.
Okay.
Yeah? Alright, at the top here there's plenty of room in behind there. So we just got to make sure it's not going to bang on anything.
Yep.
Mate, that's perfect.
Okay.
Things we can take out these, they call them valve cores.
They just twist out.
They just twist out. Nice and simple. In the tyre with sensors.
Yep.
The sensor, I have to break the beads opposite to the sensor, because if I was to put that in there and break the beads there, it's going to snap the sensor straight away. So it's very important that you do it opposite to the valve. I've worked commercial, so I've done a lot of trucks. I'm 32 now. When I was 20, I was doing road service truck fitting. So that's one off. This is your valve sensor. So they're very flimsy, just plastic. This is your valve stem. Screw goes on the bottom, the sensor. Now these are supposed to be single use only, but they're actually quite expensive, and they're pretty good quality, so we could basically lube it up and slot it back in there without having to break it.
Just because I heard the beat.
Alright, so this, all about not too much.
That's it.
Perfect. So it pops in, seals perfectly. This slips in the bottom here. So it's only got a certain way it can go in. So you've got to twist slots in the spot. Bingo. That's how she sits. And the screw. Going the right way. Screw in. Not too tight. You can't have them too tight because the air actually still goes through that hole.
Does it? Okay.
And still comes in. So the air bypasses past this sensor, and it just reads what it is. Cool. Generally, we fit it with the yellow dot out. That's yellow dot to the valve. Red dot signifies the join, the high and the low spot of the tyre. It's now a legal requirement for the date codes to be showing on the outside, just for mechanical repairs and stuff like that. Police on the side of the road, they want to check whether your car's roadworthy. You have a date code now, to specify when they are. Tyres only have a 7-year tyre life now. Anything after 7 years, no good. The belts can, come apart, separate, blow out, take out half your guard with it. Not good. Okay. First one. The machine does most of the work. You just help it. So you've got your flashy silver caps on there. She's all fitted. Put it on the balancer. Mate, chunky.
So all we've got to do now
very chunky.
Up,
so we just balance it. Now I've got to ask, which type of balance would you like? Would you like it to be weights on the outside, no knock-ons, or we can go knock-on inside and stick-on inside? The only thing is, with stick-ons, with steel wheels on the inside, it can take a lot of weight. It can take probably 150 grams. But it won't really matter to you because it's going to be inside. You won't see it. But it's entirely up to you. We do have black weights that we paint up. That can knock on the outside, but obviously as soon as we start knocking weights on, we're going to have, bits of dirt create in the cracks, going to have scratches.
It's better if we can put it on the inside if you can.
No,
I prefer that.
no problem at all. This is our state-of-the-art laser machine. We basically put this on the lifter. We get a cone that fits in the centre bore at the back, which is too small. Extend the plate. Perfect. Goes there. Now this our 6-finger plate.
Right.
Yeah. So that basically goes on here. Line it up.
Cool.
Then drop that here. So it simulates the tyre being on the car. Basically, it just spins around, finds the high spot and the low spot to stop it from vibrating. All right, so pull the hood. Now, it will tell us where it wants the weights. So green signifies it's at the spot where it wants to be.
Yep.
95. We have a laser. There's a laser beam that goes through there. That tells us where to put them. Now we have lead stick-on weights, 100 grams.
It tells you how many grams you need.
Yeah. So, or we have our normal car weights, which is steel, a lot thinner. But in this case, it being a 4-wheel drive, we'll just cut 5 grams, guess your 5 grams.
Yep.
Get that. Comes off. We hit it on the top to get it to mould. Otherwise, it's not. When you try and put them on straight, they won't bend out and mould properly. So then we just line it up half and half. Now, because the weight's so high, I want to try and get rid of this before I move on to that. Because if I was to put 95 inside, then go 95 outside, spin it, it's quite a possibility it's going to come up 30 grams out. But with this, it's a lot easier to do it like this. Works better. So it will take, I'll put 95 on there, thereabouts. It should come up 0 on the right side.
Perfect.
And then to get...
So that's showing a laser again.
So the laser's moved now to this side, and you'll see it across the bridge of the tyre.
You see the laser there, guys?
Yep. So it goes over, and then basically we just get our weights in increments. So it's 40 grams, 40 grams, and then grab a 10. So the 10 will go in the middle on the red line,
and then everything either side.
And then the rest either side. And then if I've done this right, come up 0.
Perfect.
That's how it's done.
Great.
Alright, so now you have the weights on the outside.
Yep, that's all balanced.
all get horsed to factory settings.
Yep.
Factory settings for this thing's 135 newton meters.
Okay.
Which off the top of my head is about 90 foot-pounds.
Yep.
After 100 kilometres, you need to get these retensioned.
Okay.
Just simply because they're brand new wheels, they've got brand new paint, obviously, and it will take a little while for the nut to seep fully into the paint. Yeah, so it's a 19mm thin wall socket.
Right, yep.
Okay. This is our tension wrench, but just a normal breaker bar from Super Cheap or Repco. Ranger 1 and 2, 135, which is 100 foot-pound.
Okay.
So 135 newton meters
Yep.
is 100 foot-pound.
Sweet.
Most torque wrenches will have newton meters
Yep.
and foot-pound. Newton meters being new, foot-pound being old school. Yeah.